The latte hit the floor like a gunshot. One second I was sipping warm, bitter, normal, and the next my skull cracked open from the inside, not dizziness. A fucking landslide. My knees gave out before my brain caught up. Tiles rushed up to meet me. Glass exploded. Coffee bled across the floor like a warning I couldn't read yet. I woke and white, sterile, silent except for the beep, beep, beep that counted down what was left of me. Dr. Vox stood there looking like he'd been buried and dug back up just to deliver the news. Degenerative. Genetic. No cure. He said it like he'd said it 1,000 times before, like I was already gone. And maybe I was, because the woman who walked into that cafe, the one who thought time was a river she could dam and redirect, didn't walk out. She shattered with the cup. That's the part that still claws at my ribs in the dark. The quiet before it all broke. You think you're building something. A life, a future, a theory about how the universe sings, then your own body turns traitor without warning. No fanfare. Just a seizure on linoleum and the slow suffocation of hope. I watched seasons blur through a window. Became a ghost haunting my own skin. Machines hissed. Nurses moved like shadows. I stopped counting days, started counting breaths. Then Emmett Reynolds walked in like he owned the gravity in the room. Human, rugged, eyes that had seen stars die and still held light. He didn't flinch at the tubes or the tremors. Sat by my bed like he belonged there. Told me stories about nebulae and near misses like they were campfire tales. Made the walls dissolve. Made me feel real again. Not just a diagnosis wrapped in silver skin. We didn't fall in love fast. We fell like anchors deep, inevitable, dragging each other into something we couldn't name. But my clock was ticking louder every day. Numbness crept up my arms. My hands forgot how to hold things. I knew the end wasn't coming. It was already here, squatting in my bones. One night in the hospital garden, under fake twilight and real fear, I took his hand, felt the shock of warmth against my deadening fingers. "I'm dying, Emmett," I said, voice raw. "Weeks, maybe less." He broke right then. Explorer of galaxies, terrified of losing one woman. "There's no cure," I told him. "But there's one thing I need. One last thing." I looked into those blue eyes, saw myself reflected, not as a patient, but as someone worth remembering. I want to know what it feels like to be human, to connect like that. Before I go, he didn't hesitate. Didn't treat it like a death wish. Treated it like a promise. We stripped the room bare. No monitors. No antiseptic stink. Just skin, breath, and the terrifying vulnerability of being alive. When we came together, it wasn't sex. It was collision. Fusion. Like two atoms slamming into each other and rewriting the laws of physics just by touching. For the first time in months, maybe ever, I felt whole. Not broken. Not fading. Burning. Afterward, tangled in sheets, I thought, if this is the end, let it be now. But the universe had other plans. Days later, my body revolted. Seizure ripped through me like lightning. Flatlined. Code blue. Emmett stood in the hall, face hollow, watching strangers fight for a life he'd already mourned. Then Impossible Vox walked out stunned. Her cells, they're regenerating. It makes no sense. I woke to emerald fire in my own eyes. Weak, but there, alive. Turns out, human reproductive biochemistry, those hormones, proteins, whatever the hell they are, hit my very own physiology like a goddamn miracle drug. Hypercharged immune response. Cellular reboot. A cure hiding in the act of creation itself. We didn't just survive, we cracked open a door between species, turned intimacy into medicine. Now, years later, I sit with him in that same garden, sun setting over Varia's golden spires, hand in his. Strong. Steady. "I'm grateful for the illness," I say. He squeezes back. "And I'm grateful for the wish. Because love didn't just save me. It rewrote the rules, showed me that sometimes the most violent, beautiful truths aren't found in equations but in the space between two bodies choosing to touch when everything else is falling apart."